Well, I think you described this beautifully on our podcast. It's having the freedom to choose.
Yeah.
I think that is really how we see it. We were relatively early adopters to um, sort of hybrid working, but maybe 4 years ago or so, pre-pandemic, we started working from home once a week, and a lot of that was about giving team the choice. It wasn't enforced; it was just an option. And if the team wanted to do some deep work, wanted to spend more time at home, whether it was with families or just kind of not do the commute, which I think was just draining for everybody. So for us, it's about having that freedom. And what I love about it, we are now remote first, but we have an office that the team can go into, but actually from December the 1st we'll be giving up that lease, and we are fully embracing going remote, and we'll still be getting together in London at times. But I think we found productivity's gone up so much since we embraced it. It's just been lovely. Not only are people picking up hobbies again, I think people are working in a better ways, and we're still able to connect. There's all the tools now to do it effectively. But it's just kind of, I feel like it's given our company a new lease of life, and we kind of tested it in those early days. But now we can, we can meet together, we can work remotely, we can work from anywhere. The team's really spread out and very international. So for us, it's just having that choice. I think it empowers the team, and I think as a result, they're really grateful for that, because it means they're not hamstrung by having to be in the office XYZ time of the day or week. So I think that is a very waffly answer. Well, we're truly honored. I think as soon as I saw you doing this, as soon as Flexa became a thing, I just loved it, because I think it gives incredible validation to progressive, forward-thinking firms that are embracing something that I think is absolutely essential in the modern day workforce.
Yeah.
When over the years, obviously what we do is we get people jobs, and so one of the most requested things over the last sort of 4 or 5 years has increasingly been flexibility.
Yeah.
Whether that's the ability to work from home, which wasn't as much of a thing until recent years, or being able to just pick up their kids early from school. I mean, it was incredible how rigid the industries in general. And so I've always been very pro that. I've always really, we've always worked with companies that I think have been quite progressive, but to have a place now that actually validates that, that promotes it, that is very visible, and I think that's not only obviously great for employer branding, and for us is a great way to attract talent to be seen associated with similar great companies. But I just think it makes commercial sense. I think it makes a lot of sense to do it, to be a flexible organization, and therefore I think we are thrilled to be sort of be recognized as a really flexible business, because that for us is like one of the most important things, and it's what attracts, some of our existing team were most attracted to JBM in the first instance, because they knew that we had a work from anywhere policy, that we knew, there was we had people in the team that were part-time. And that we were embracing lots of different flexible benefits. So for me, it's just a great recognition of that we're doing the right sorts of things. We feel there's still more we can do, but to be alongside some incredible companies that I've respected and admired for a long time, like Unleashed, our friends at Unleashed, for me, that's a great honor and something we're very proud of.
Yeah. And I think it's, as we talked about earlier, recruitment is not known for its flexibility, same as like finance and insurance, like definitely wouldn't be. So the fact that you've obviously scored so highly is just brilliant, and shows you're properly changing your own little piece towards the change in the industry.
I think so. And it's not to say that we don't do lots of stuff in person. We still run events, we still come together, we still meet candidates for coffees and drinks and do all those things. But times have changed. They really have. And, when I think back to the beginning of my career, it was 8 till 6:30 at the desk.
Yeah.
It was almost frowned upon going for lunch. It was just so rigid, and just like the total antithesis to having flexibility. Had to be suited and booted, had to wear black shoes, had to be clean shaven. Now we have the freedom to choose, and that is very empowering. I think that's empowering for candidates. I think it's empowering for, you know, our employees and for myself. You know, I think there's a lot of founders out there that I think before were just going along with things because everyone else did it a certain way. Whereas now it's like my wife would be like, why are you doing that? Like, this is your business. You don't need to wear. She always used to tell me off in the early days of JBM where I'd put a suit on again. She was like, why are you doing that? This is your business. You hate wearing suits.
Yeah.
And it's little things like that where I'm just like, yes, like it does not. Yeah, you can change. It's very doable. And I love the fact that, and this is where I think you are doing such important work, shining a light on the companies that are embracing flexibility in all its forms. And I believe that's the future. So the more we can talk about it, the more we can share our learnings. And it's still something we're all working through the best ways to do things. But it's exciting, and I think it's working. And particularly for me as a headhunter, you want to attract the best talent, you want to retain the best people. And by embracing flexibility in your organization, I think you're going to do that. I'd say two things initially. One is go and talk to companies that have adopted some of these policies. You know, similar sized businesses, founders, you know, of those companies, or people that work in the people or talent function, to understand what it means for them and therefore what it could mean for you. And then I would then I would talk to your staff. One of the ways that we did it, we had a really open, it was almost like a strategy type session where we talked about all the things that we loved about JBM, all the things that the team didn't enjoy so much. And particularly when it came to working practices and flexibility and things like that, that was where it was a sort of real free for all of ideas and suggestions or whatever. And obviously you can't do everything, but by getting a bit of, from listening to your team about what's important to them, it's probably the first place to start. And then, you know, you can kind of compare and contrast with your own thoughts and what you're seeing in the industry and do something that works for you and for the organization. But I think including your team in some of that decision making is a really sensible idea, because they'll feel invested and they'll feel listened to. And at the end of the day, that's all a lot of employees want.
Yeah. And you don't want to create a work environment that no one wants either.
Exactly. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Yeah. No one will be happy. You'll lose your staff. Pointless.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, congratulations again. It's super exciting. So
cheers, Molly. Great to see you. And thanks for the recognizing us. It's really appreciated.